are so many ways that I could answer this question, and honestly, I'm so glad that you asked because I've been wanting to share more about my writing and creation process. But just to give you an example, at the time that I was in a connection, I could really relate to the song Good Good by Usher. And at the time, I was not working on any music of my own, any original music, but I still wanted to express myself creatively. And the thing about it is, I didn't even know about that song. A really good friend of mine sent it to me, and I was like, girl, because this was kind of a little bit after we had gone no contact, me and the person that I was in a connection with. And I pretty much bawled my eyes out, like after hearing it a few times. But the more I listened to it, the more healing it was for me because I realized, okay, I can write to this. I have experience and can relate to this right now. So I usually start, if I'm doing a cover or an open verse, I start by just listening to it over and over to kind of get the feel of the song. And then I'll see what comes up for me naturally. So any thoughts, any words, any phrases, because sometimes it doesn't come all at once. It comes together in pieces, in fragments. So the open verse that I did to the Usher Good Good song was me just reflecting on my experience with that person and then going no contact. Because the thing about it is, even the things that don't work out are still meant for your good. There's something for you to take from it. There's something for you to learn from it. I don't think that person is a bad person or was a bad person because of the way that things turned out. And I don't, even though I have no desire to speak to that person or stay in contact with that person, I still wish them well. And I feel like that song pretty much summed up what I was feeling in that moment. Because to me now, that connection that I was in is so far in the past for me. But at the time it was fresh. Like I was still feeling pain in my heart. I was still thinking about this person heavily. I was still just hurting bad because the way that things happen. And I also had to look at myself. A lot of times when people talk about no contact, they're thinking about the other person and how dirty they did them and how nonchalant they were or whatever. But at the end of the day, I played a role in that. I chose to engage with this person who was half-hearted and not fully invested in the same way that I was. And so I had to look at myself and say, why? A person who has a healthy amount of self-love wouldn't even be in that predicament. And so that's when I realized that, okay, there's nothing I can do about this person who's not showing up for me the way I want them to. But I can show up for myself, and I can choose to focus on my boundaries and my standards and choose to give my attention to a person who's willing to reciprocate that energy to me that I am requiring of myself, and not settling for someone who is just not where I'm at. So at the end of the day, I feel like Good Good and my song Stay Gone, they all sum up the fact that you have to be willing to let things go, but also you have to choose yourself. You have to love yourself more. You have to respect yourself more and forgive yourself for the things that you allowed that don't reflect who you truly are. So I know that was kind of long-winded, but if you don't have any original music that you're working on, I would start with a cover. Think about a song that sums up how you're feeling right now and choose to use that as a way to channel those negative emotions that you're feeling and release them in a positive way. I really want to go live. I've always wanted to go live and create from scratch. So whether it's an open verse or original music, I don't have any new music that I'm working on at the moment, but I definitely have some songs in my playlist that I want to do like an open verse challenge to. So if you're interested in seeing how I would go through that process step by step, let me know. But I hope that this was a good first start. Try, like I said, picking out a song that sums up how you're feeling right now. and see how those emotions flow for you naturally when it comes to putting them together and creating a piece of art.